Good evening, everyone. Let's call the meeting to order. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. We're going to start with a few little housekeeping things, and then we'll move on to a couple more exciting things that are happening today. So let's start off with the receipt of the November 10th, 2025 and December 9th, 2025 minutes, please.
I make a motion we receive the November 10th, 2025 minutes as printed.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that carries. Thank you. All right, I'm going to move on to the mayor's report. Get
Can
that
I make a
started.
motion, we accept the December 9th, 2025 minutes as printed? We did the November, we did not do
I'm
December.
sorry, I read them both together. I apologize.
That's
Yes,
okay.
please do.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. When I read it together, I wasn't thinking that, so. Okay, so for the mayor's report. The last Christmas tree collection is on Wednesday, January 14th, coming up this week, so please remove all decorations and the tree stand as we spoke before. Even though we're tired of Christmas, please don't throw the whole thing out in the yard like some people have in the past. The offices will be closed on January 19th for MLK Day. Water bills are due Friday, January 30th. All town streets are snow emergency routes, so when the snow emergency plan is in effect, parking is prohibited and violators will be fined. So please, if you know it's going to snow, park in your driveway, park somewhere. Reminder from the Department of Public Works, disconnect your garden hoses. We don't want to have any freezing pipes. And the basketball nets. Please, please, please make sure they are not covering the sidewalks, hanging over the sidewalks in the street. We're not going to be responsible. They've been hit. They've fallen over in the wind. So please make sure they're out of the way. And also with the hydrants, please make sure they're shoveled out, because if there is a fire, I'd like the fire department to not have to deal with that when they get there as well. The Charlotte B. Collette Memorial Scholarship will be due by May 1st. Don't forget to pick up an application at Manchester Valley High School Guidance Office, or we have them at the Town Hall, or on the website at www.manchestermd.gov. We're going to talk shortly about Haley's Wish Foundation. That'll be next. I think that's really about all I have right now. I'm sure I'll remember in a little bit, and when I do, I'll reiterate everything else. If we could do the oath of office real quick for Henry, is that okay? We do that now? Raise your right hand, please. I
Henry Leskinen,
do affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and that I will be faithful and will bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland and will support the Constitution and laws thereof, and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment, diligently and faithfully, without partiality and prejudice, execute the office of Planning and Zoning Commission member according to the Constitution and laws of the state.
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Will you give this to Kelly and have her sign
shall.
your sign? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Bridget, Matt, do you guys want to come up, or whoever's coming with you? Okay. So, for those of you that were at the last meeting, and I think some of you were, we talked about Haley's Wish and how much they have done for our playground and our community, and the donations that they have done have been amazing. And do you know the total that you did? I meant to check that before you came, but it's a lot, I know. Yes, it's a ton. So Haley's Wish does all the ADA compliance with the playgrounds and things like that, and we lost her in October, as we all know. So they are now making another donation of $35,000 to the playground where we just had the ADA compliant ground mat rubberized, I guess I'll say. I don't know exactly what the wording is for it, but now that's ADA compliant. So if you fall, and we can ride the wheelchairs on it, you can get to all the equipment with that. So Haley's Wish Foundation, basically, I'm going to let you say a few words about it because you know a lot more than I do, but basically they have the foundation, and I'm going to say something about the yard stakes first. So we have Haley and her friend Hannah have made yard stakes for been making them long before, right?
She actually just started it recently. Yeah.
Okay, but Haley was still here when they were making them originally, right?
I think the idea, they were going
It
to
was in the
make
plan?
them together, yes.
Okay.
So they had a plan to make
Okay.
them together, but Haley passed away.
Okay.
Before they could do
Right,
that
okay.
together. So Hannah is doing it in her memory.
So Hannah does yard stakes, which I happen to have. I have them all together, but you can see they're made with beads and they're great. And garden stakes, nobody can have my diamond one. But, so they sell them for $10 a piece, and it's for the foundation. And Hannah makes them with her own little two hands. And anybody who wants them, Bridget can give you information on how to get them. But they're great, they're $10, and they use it towards the ADA compliance playgrounds. So I'll let you speak a little bit about, if you want to say anything about it, or what you guys do, and then that way so they understand.
Yeah, Haley's Wish, as she said, we focus on making sure there are accessible and inclusive playgrounds in our communities. We have been focused on the Christmas Tree Park Playground for several years now, making sure that there's equipment that everyone can use. And one of our main goals was to get the rubber surfacing in there, and we are so grateful to the town for helping us achieve that goal. And we're going to donate our contribution towards that. As she said, our new fundraising initiative is really led by Haley's friend Hannah. It is amazing the response she has gotten. She's already raised about $2,500. And I haven't even told them this yet, but I have a donor who's going to match her fundraising up to $3,000. So Hannah, if you raise $3,000, they'll give you an extra $3,000, and you'll just magically have $6,000, which is huge. So Hannah and I are talking about kind of what we can do with that money. We'd love to add a wheelchair accessible sensory trail, but we'll be talking to the town about that. So we will continue our efforts and work with the town, and we are grateful that they're letting us do that.
Well, we are grateful for you. So, from my understanding, the donation is $35,000 towards our playground, which is wonderful, and she has a check for us. And I believe, I shouldn't speak out of turn, but I believe we spoke, and I think we're going to do some musical notes that Haley loved to the tune of $10,000.
It's a donation of a little over $13,000 for 3 really amazing musical instruments.
Again, coming from Haley's Wish, that'll be at our playground. So, thank you very, very
Those were
much.
all memorial funds, donations that people donated in Haley's memory.
So if anybody wants to get some yard stakes or garden stakes or whatever you want to call them, what is the process?
Plant stakes. Hannah has some tonight, but you can also purchase them through our website, through the Haley's Wish Playgrounds website. You can message us through Facebook. There's lots of ways. Just reach out to us, and we'll find a way to get them to you.
You can reach out to us at town, too. We also know how to get in touch, so
Yeah,
that'd be
we can
great.
leave some here.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very, very, very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank
Shake
you.
and I'll hug you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again. Okay, so now we'll move on, and if anybody does want any, let us know, and we can get you in touch. Can we move to the town administrator and public works report, please?
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. On the report tonight, Christmas Tree Park Seafield lighting is complete. We passed the final electrical inspection last week, so that has all been signed off. Still waiting for Musco to set up a site meeting when they come out and check the lights out and go through and make sure they're all still properly aimed. So when I hear that, I will let you guys know, because I know you were interested in being there for that.
Yeah, so everybody could learn how to operate them and not waste anything for you.
Yeah. They should operate the same way as the current ones they have,
Awesome.
but definitely will let you know.
Yep. Thank you again for all that.
On the wastewater treatment plant upgrade, MDE is still reviewing CDM Smith's comments that were sent before Thanksgiving. We did receive notice last night that MDE is going to have a partial response by the end of the week. so they can at least start reviewing those. Don't have any timeline on the rest of the responses. Unfortunately, the design is pretty much stalled until MDE gets back with CDM Smith to clarify these answers. The PFAS project, that's going a little better. Work has started on surveying the current area by Manchester Valley High School. We are working on reapplying for more funding through the Emerging Contaminants Fund through the state to cover any escalation in construction cost, and that is due at the end of the month. The Manchester East Stormwater Facility, the county is still working on purchasing the property. A letter of support from the town was sent to the county for that project. On the Main Street trees, we are soliciting bids currently to trim the trees on Main Street, with the exception of the ones where the sidewalks need replaced. That'll at least get us a start on helping rectify some of the citizen complaints about the trees on the houses, over the houses, and things like that. So that's where we're starting. Bids are due February 4th. There will be a public bid opening February 4th at 10:15. And we do have a plan for where the sidewalks need replaced also. The watershed action grant. The plan has been drafted and sent to MDE and is under review. The project has also expanded with the amount of possible work that needs done down there. So once all parties are together and we have a full grasp of what needs done based on the assessments, we'll know how we can proceed from that point. Hometown Heroes banners, I would really like to kick this off in the spring, and I'd like to see if we could find some funds to help offset the cost of these banners for families that would be interested. Cost of the banners are roughly about $120 a piece, depending on the size.
And just to pigtail on that, the chief mentioned with it being the 250th anniversary, we definitely want to do something big, even if it's just at our square. So also, could you get a hold of Andrew about the sidewalks and make sure we can get that hopefully completed before then?
Yes, I will email Andrew.
Thank you.
Matt, do you have a list of like hometown heroes? Like,
I do not. Normally what they do is there's an application process
okay,
that gets put out there, and local Manchester area families will submit
so we just
their
have to really-
relatives, loved ones, or their self for the banner. It requires a picture of them in uniform, and it also requires their proof of service, so DD 214, I believe it is, has to be submitted. And then once it's all checked out and finalized, then the banners are created, and then we would hang them in the town.
If they are veterans who are on our memorial,
Mhm.
would they still need all the same documentation if they've already been, I mean, obviously they need the picture, but they've already gone through that process once?
That's something we would have to think about. I know most of the forms, they request all this information, so.
So that's starting in the next couple months. We really have to put that out there for applications, and then for them to be made by June or July.
Yes.
So we should really start getting them made in April, so we really need to get on that pretty quickly.
Yeah, ideally Memorial Day, have them up. So I don't have an estimated cost of, because I don't know how many people will be interested. I know there's been a lot of people who ask me for it.
I mean, that's
So-
how many we can actually do. Then we have to count that up first, because that's important.
Yeah. And most likely we will put them on our black light poles.
That's what I mean, we're gonna have to figure out exactly how many we can have, and, because I think you're gonna have a very nice turnout of a lot of people that do want it, and we wanna make sure we can get everybody that we can.
Yeah, so we'll get a count on those and see how many we can accommodate. Talked to Verizon again. Last meeting I brought up, they had some interest in putting a tower site in town. I gave them a couple ideas, one of them being the spray farm, and the other was up on Park Avenue by the tank up there. So I told them that the council was looking for kind of a rough idea what it would look like, and then what the lease terms would be and rent. So haven't heard back from them, but as soon as I do, I will forward that information on to see if it's a feasible project. We have no updates currently for Equine Meadows. The last update we had is the county was working on final review and signing the Mylars to get returned. Don't have a date for those. And you have the code enforcement report in your stack. So that is all on the town administrator's report. Does the council have any questions? Okay. Moving on to the Public Works report. You also have the water and wastewater data from December in front of you. Our PFAS project is in the works. I spoke to our wastewater treatment project. The blower failure at the plant, one of our 3 blowers has failed. It has been sent to a company in Virginia. They have the purchase order, and they are ordering the parts to repair it. No timeline on it coming back at this point. Our wastewater treatment plant transducer install, we are working on putting a plan together to get that installed. The weather has kind of delayed us a little bit with some of these snow events and being real cold. So working on getting that installed, which will replace the air compressors that are down there that are in need of service. On the parks and facilities maintenance projects, the rehabilitation projects for the streets has been completed 100%. Our sidewalk repairs, we're working with the state to formalize plans on that. We have the tree trimming bids out now. The new bleachers have arrived for the fields to replace the ones that were damaged during the Easter storm last year, but they arrived damaged. So we are working on a claim through the company we bought them from to get those either parts replaced or a whole new unit sent out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've had 5 winter events this year, mainly salting operations. And they have 1 action item for the data loggers, which is in your stack. They are requesting 19 of them for a total cost of $24,994.50. Our budget for these is $25,000. And that would bring a grand total in the town to 50 after the purchase.
That's great. That was on the table from last month to increase it, so it's under budget.
Correct.
Councilwoman Miller brought up, so. Can we make a motion for that?
I make a motion, we purchase 19 Guterman data loggers from Exeter Supply Company at a total cost of $24,994.50.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Are there any questions for the Public Works report from the council? Okay, and this completes the Public Works report.
Okay, I'm going to skip back real fast because in my haste of getting so excited with Haley's wish, I skipped over something. So could we have a motion for the receipt of the November 25 Treasurer's Report and December 25 check register?
I'll make a motion we receive the November 2025 Treasurers Report.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and the December 2025 check register?
I'll make a motion we receive the December 2025 check register.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Chief, police report?
So we closed out the year with 22 crimes in total, 8 of which was Part 1. The driving force of the crimes, though, the majority of them were simple assaults and domestic assaults. We did have 8 theft cases, but outside of that, all in all, the violent crime, none of it was Part 1, and it pretty much surrounded domestic assaults. So that's pretty good. And then when you look at the total number of 22 in comparison of the earlier days when we were looking at 78, 57, and 47 crimes, we've come a long way, 22 crimes total. So the town's looking pretty good there. Countywide, even with the overdose numbers. So the county ended the year with 211 overdoses, 26 fatalities, which has definitely come a long way because back in 2016 and a couple more years thereafter, we were hitting 410 cases, 46 fatalities. This year, they only had 1 heroin overdose. 50 of them were fentanyl, and the majority were prescription meds. So it's definitely changing. The tide's changing. I think we had 1 or 2 cocaine overdoses. So, but when you go back where the majority of the cases were heroin overdoses, and we truly had an epidemic, that's starting to slow down. So you're looking at a total 50% increase. You can't really beat those numbers. I just hope it sustains. But with the pressure on the border and getting the drug cartels and popping the boats from Venezuela, I think it'll all play part. So they're all pretty good numbers. So the Police Accountability Board is in the, they're closing in on making their year-end report, and they're going to complete their year-end report. And one of the biggest factors that they were looking at, so when you're looking at calls for service and traffic stops, in the county, there was 83,867 collective. That's all the agencies. The sheriff's office had in total 34,044, and all the towns with police had 49,823. Out of all of that, there was 51 complaints. And again, those numbers are pretty good. The biggest complaints are, I guess the driving force with them is traffic stops. People get upset when we stop them, and that's pretty much where the complaints come from. But working with the Police Accountability Board, all the agencies are working together, everybody's working together to be as transparent as possible and get ahead of problems before we have bigger problems. But when, all in all, those numbers, I'm hoping that's what the total year-end report looks like, but that's pretty close what I gave you right now. So out of 83,000 plus 51 complaints, that's a good ratio. Let me think, one more thing here. No, I think that's about it. We ended the year for December. Again, all the cases, with the exception of one, were domestic assaults. We did have one interesting case. The sergeant came in on. So the alarm company was activated with the new solar project. I think it was the powerhouse. So the alarm company was triggered by people being on the property and getting into the powerhouse. So when Volan and, who was it, Phoenix and Spencer came down, 9 men took off running. So they spread out. They were heading towards a spray field. They were heading over towards Main Street, cutting all through the fields, running around. They start tracking them. I think they caught 2 right off the bat. We had to get a tracking team in because we got residential property all around. And during the course of all of it, we captured everybody. We had everybody pretty much round up. One was running through the area of Grafton Street, and a neighbor spotted him, came out of the house, called 911. 911 clearly asked him, just stand by, the police are in your area. He decided to shoot at him with the tracking team behind him. So out of all of that chaos, he was the one that was arrested. Because the workers allegedly, I say allegedly because we're still not really sure what happened. They were there, they were supposed to be there, but there's a lot of confusion with that whole thing. they claim that they ran because they thought we were ICE. So that's pretty much how that ended. But we did have one neighbor come out to decide to take matters into his own hands, and it didn't work out too well. And thank God no one was shot, to include the police officers, who were probably within, 50 yards of them, if not closer. But outside of that, everything has been well. Everything's good.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the community before I start with the council people? Okay. So, Councilman Nazarod?
Thursday, the 15th, coming up here, North Carroll Business Alliance meets at Green Mountain Station for all the small business in the area. They're part of that. And just looking ahead, the Maryland primary is June 23rd, and you have to vote according to what you're registered with. So it's a long ways away, but never too early to scope out candidates. Because as Chief just said, what happens outside the town affects inside the town. So, yep. And I think District 5, Manchester, kind of encircles the town of Manchester, and then outside of the town is District 42. Sometimes that's confusing.
Very
So you might
confusing.
need to look on the maps, the way they districted. So, yeah, just to talk about that again. Thank you, that's it.
Thank you. Councilman Miller?
Matt did a good job reviewing our capital projects. Also, our first budget work session will be Wednesday, January 28th at 7 p.m. I have something on America 250. So Joe Getty gave me a call this weekend, and he said, wouldn't it be nice if I gave a talk on the history of Manchester? And I said, yeah, that would be nice. So we set a date of Thursday, June 18th at 7:30 here in council chambers, and we teamed up with Dutch Corner Restaurant. So she's going to be open at 5 p.m. for dinner, if anybody's interested in grabbing a bite to eat before the history presentation. So I thought that was nice of Joe reaching out, and that can be part of our America 250. And also, in conjunction with that, I know the fire department has some things planned for that week because it's Carnival Week, and July 4th hits on Carnival Week, so I think it should be a good affair.
What was the date again? You said Thursday, June?
Thursday, June 18th at 7:30 here.
5:30 at Dutch Corner if you want dinner.
And my last item is I'd like to commend our maintenance crews for a job well done. We've had, I think, Matt, you said 5 events? 5 events. And they're exceptional, so second to none.
I'll put our roads up against anybody.
Yep, you got that right. I agree. That's it.
Okay. Real quick as we're passing by me, so if we could, anybody, they can mark it on their calendar as far as council and everybody, I'm certainly going to try to make it with Joe Getty, so if we could try to have a good showing for that, I'd appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay. Councilwoman Miller.
Nothing to report at this time.
Okay. Councilman Pacelli.
Yesterday evening, I met with the Charlotte's Quest Board of Directors. They have an event scheduled for February 8th, 11 to 1, Valentine craft event, where you are basically making Valentine's Day cards with pieces of nature they'll be able to glue. It sounds like a great time. They also informed me that they have met with the Maryland Forestry Department to develop a forestry plan. I read the letter. They're hoping to have the Forestry Department come here to do a presentation. I told them I would speak with you about that. But that's very exciting because that's not going to cost anything. I read their letter. They're talking about different infestation, trees that don't belong, damaged trees. So they're going to come in. I said, my first question was, who's paying for this? They said, they are. I said, I'm all in. The town's all in, too. This will be awesome because it is a beautiful park. And as I go along as liaison with them, I will get more and more familiar with it. But it's a good group of people. They seem very passionate about what they're doing. Of course, we've already known that. But this is very exciting about the Forestry Department with the diversity of plants, sustainability, all that kind of stuff for this beautiful area there. So I'll touch base with you, Matt, about seeing what we can do. And I told them I would get hold of Jennifer Potter this week to let them know where we are. That would be it.
Great, thank you. Councilman Cuneo?
Nothing to report this month for P&Z.
All right, if nobody has anything else. Oh, geez, Emma, I'm sorry, I am somewhere else, obviously. I'm
All good.
I
all good.
apologize. Meanwhile, you came in and I said, "Hi, Emma, how are you?"
That's true, you did.
"Hi, Emma, how are you?"
I'm great. How are you?
Great, we'd love to hear what you have to say.
So I have a fair amount to report, not much. I mean, we just got back from winter break, so it's really a lot just with the drama department. I mean, we're in that in-between period where winter sports are ongoing, so that's like a consistent schedule that's been established. But yeah, I guess I'll just get started with drama. So this Friday and Saturday, the Honors Theater Production class, which is an elective course that students can take. It's a fully student-run, student-led production from selecting the show to casting it to every single tech crew, so costuming, props, set design. All of the students who sign up to take that class participate in putting on a full-scale production for free at the high school. And this year they selected to do Puffs, which, if you're unfamiliar with the show, it's a spin-off of Harry Potter focused on the Hufflepuff house. So that's going to be taking place this Friday and Saturday. It is free admission because it's a class they cannot charge, but concessions are going to be sold by the Performing Arts Boosters, so they'll have a table set up where you can buy a bunch of goodies to see the show. That's going to take place at 7 p.m., but do keep in mind it is a PG-13 show because there are some jokes and things written into the script that may not be appropriate for younger audiences. So keep that in mind, but please come out and support our actors. I'm not acting in that, but it'll be great. The next show that I am acting in is the International Thespian Society show, which the International Thespian Society is a national scale corporation. It's a group for aspiring actors and high achieving members of the theater community. And our school branch is putting on a production of The Price on January 30th and 31st, also at 7 p.m. It's a show about a mother who goes on this whole journey to save her daughter from being taken by death. It's a very emotional show. It's going to be great, and we're also bringing that to the Maryland ITS Festival next weekend for competition at Towson University. But that's also at 7 p.m. Admission is at the door, and there will also be concessions sold there if you want to come for that. We have casted the spring musical Matilda, which is going to be April 17th, 18th, 24th, and 25th. I'm very excited for that one because I got cast in one of my dream roles. So that's going to be fun. So come out and support that. We have a couple more months.
Which role did you get cast in?
I am Miss Wormwood. I'm Matilda's mom.
Okay.
So that's going to be very exciting. We have a student. Her name is Kate Lafort. She has been invited to perform with the Maryland Winds Professional Ensemble. Freshman, and she's a freshman student, and she gets to perform at a statewide, professional musical, with their group, so adult performers, and it's gonna be, so I'm not sure when that is, but she's performing with them, and that's really cool. The Manchester Valley High School Performing Arts Boosters are holding a meeting tomorrow at 6:30. So if you're a parent and you have students involved in any of the arts branches, so drama, chorus, band, orchestra, come out and hear about some volunteer opportunities and things that the boosters are looking for. If you don't know, the Performing Arts Boosters, they fundraise and they provide a lot of monetary support for all of the performing arts classes that's not covered by the school. So a lot of our set stuff and for chorus are t-shirts for when we go to competition. For band, marching band, their uniforms are dry cleaned and with money from the Performing Arts Boosters. So they sell concessions at a lot of the indoor sports games and then also at the drama productions. That's their biggest fundraiser. So if you can come out and support that, that would be great. Speaking of indoor sports, girls varsity basketball won 39-27 versus Westminster on the 9th. I think it was a home game, so that's great. Boys indoor track, they had a meet at Lebanon Valley College, and they took home the win in the 200 meter and the 400 meter. And a student set the Manchester Valley High School pole vault record at 12 feet and 6 inches. Manchester Valley High School girls track posted first place in the 800 meter dash at that same meet, and that was on the 10th. On January 15th, which is Thursday, the Corollary bowling team will play Winners Mill at Greenmount Station. All of the basketball teams play South Carroll at South Carroll High School, also on the 15th. So that's your JV boys and JV girls teams, as well as your varsity boys and varsity girls team. And then the last thing I have listed is Manchester Valley High School is hosting a winter clothing drive until the 16th. So you can drop off hats, gloves, scarves, jackets, blankets, all of those at the school, and those will go out to the local community for people in need this winter. All right, thank you. Oh, you have a question?
So you can just look at the website if, like, for all the dates for anything drama related?
Yes.
Is separate from sports? Like just you go
so-
through, or it's all like events in one spot?
It's all on the Manchester Valley High School website, but there are like different sections. So there should be a
Okay.
section for theater and then a section for sports, because the sports has like their completely different schedule. Like I've mentioned the past 2 meetings, I've been trying to work on something to accumulate all of like the stuff going on, like a calendar that I can share at meetings. But things have been a little hectic at school, and I'm trying to work around the school email where I can't share any of my stuff. But yes, so that's all on the website. And if you have any social media, there's 1,000,001 social media pages for every single group at our school. So there, or if you have any questions, you can ask me after the meeting, and I can help you out.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Does anybody else have anything? Can we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everyone.